Hi everyone. In this video I will be deriving the product rule. Below we have the simple formulation for the product rule. If you have the derivative of two functions of x multiplied by each other, or two functions of some independent variable multiplied by each other. X can be any independent variable, and you want to know the derivative with respect to that variable. So you have the second function times the derivative of the first plus the first times the derivative of the second. But where does this come from? So let's define a function z equals the product of x and y. Two functions, two independent variables. So we'll define this as z sub I. So this will be our initial z value. And then what happens when we change x by some delta x and y by some delta y? We'll have a new z value. And we have the expression for that. We'll define it as z sub f, or our final z value. And this is our expression for that. If you can imagine x plus delta x times y plus delta y. If you're thinking here, this kind of looks like an area formula. It's very similar to what I did in a separate video looking at how does the area of a rectangle change. So this is the same idea. You have a function that is a function of two variables. How does it change when you change both of those variables? So let's look at the change in z then. Would be the final z minus the initial z value. Substituting both of those expressions in, we have this. X plus delta x, the quantity x plus delta x times the quantity y plus delta y minus x times y. Expanding that out, we have x delta z equals xy plus x delta y plus y delta x plus delta x delta y minus x y. So canceling out like terms, we're left with this. Delta z equals x delta y plus y delta x plus delta x times delta y. But now we have to think, what happens when those changes get really small? What happens when delta x and delta y start to approach 0? So we're going to let those changes go to 0. As those changes go to 0, the deltas can be replaced with differentials, or infinitesimals, as delta x and delta y go to 0. So you have dz equals x dy plus y dx, which is the change in z, which is also the same formulation of the product rule, where our function f of x was z. And then the derivative of that product was thus vx times du dx plus u dv dx, and that's the product rule. Thank you for joining me. See you in my next video.